So the video that y'all saw, the last upload, that was the last upload uploaded on my Mac before it basically died on me. And I ain't gonna lie, I did not know what to do. Something that I was going to build, one of the parts was coming, but it was gonna come on November the 5th. Luckily that junk came in early. And as you see, I'm not on my phone. I'm not recording on my phone. And not recording on my Mac. As you can see, you hear me? PC boys. I remember in my setup tour, I said I was going to get a PC soon. I didn't think it was going to be this soon. I posted that video a month ago, and we have a PC now. I thought I was going to get one in like maybe December, maybe January, but when you believe it, you can achieve it, man. So that's all I gotta say. The content on this channel is about to go up on the dawn. 100K on the way. Let's go. All right. How it feels to kill. Have you killed anybody? You don't even cap like that. You're not like that. You're not like that, buddy. You're from the suburbs. You're not even like that. All right, let's get into this video.
I went, I'll blow your fucking head off. I went, how about that?
Yes, Jacob. Your punch man knocked him out one punch.
Is this man dead? He can't be dead.
I've just killed someone.
Dang. Wait, whoa. Back that up for a second. Did that joint just say sniper?
I've just killed someone.
Okay, let's look at this. An ex-London gangster. So some mob boss types. A murderer. My man got the Christian Dior on. A sniper. Bro was really like Robo 6. Going dark. No. A sniper is crazy. And a one-punch kit. So, if you don't know what that means, you should. But bro punched him, the guy that died, with so much force, either here or here, probably here, that it knocked some of his brain. It knocked some of his brain into the other side, and he just. You can actually kill somebody with a punch if you have some good force to it.
What kind of kid were you when you were growing up?
Active, energetic, confident.
Same.
Outspoken. I wasn't shy.
I was outspoken. I was outspoken
I felt
as
like
a kid.
A bit of a protector around my friends that I felt were vulnerable, you know, and stuff like that. A bit of a defender, if you could say that, you know.
What would you say was a turning point in your life?
Well, it has to be in 2003, innit, when I was 19.
Damn. Damn. 2003 and 19? Dang, if I do the math correctly. Bro's 38. Jesus. That man pushing 40.
My best friend at the time called me. He told me that him and his girlfriend he was with at the time had been going for a bit of a rough patch, talking to each other maybe for like a week or two, you know, on and off sort of thing. But during that period of time when they were going through their rough patch, his girlfriend got raped by somebody.
Jesus.
When my boy first told me what happened, I said to him, why didn't your girl go to the police? And he said she's scared to go to the police. And she just wanted him to do something to just stop this man from, you know, troubling her again. The plan was he was gonna pull up at the bus stop, what he did, and meet her. And we was in a phone box waiting for him with 2 baseball bats. And when he did arrive,
Yo, how did they be getting the looks of these people? How did they be getting the locations of these people? This is like 2003. There was no like there was no GPS. There was no like what's that called? There was no Life 360, bro. There was none of that. How did they get the? Did she like give them a description or something like, oh, he was this tall, his skin was this, he wore it. Dang. I mean, it had to be someone in her neighborhood, but that's crazy. I don't know how to begin to look to these people, especially in that time.
Came out the phone box, we approached him as he was talking to the girl. He saw us coming.
Oh, so that's what they did. They like set it up where she would be out, he would come there again. They would come up with the baseball bats. Makes sense. Makes sense.
He grabbed the girl and held her. Why are you gonna grab her like that and hold her like a shield? You've done something guilty. My reaction was to hit him with the bat to get him off of the girl. My boy done the same thing, hit him a few times. He let go of the girl. Then obviously he was trying to disarm me and take my bat off of me. I'm tussling him with the man, going back and forth. He's trying to get the bat off me. I'm hitting him some more. It was more just a human
boom,
reaction thing, innit? You...
Bro kicking his door down. Man said, boom. Ah, ah, ah.
Rapist monster man is not taking this baseball bat off of me.
Yeah.
So if I have to keep swinging it and hitting you so you can't take it off of me and maybe turn it back on me, then that's what's going to happen. And I just kept swinging it until he stopped trying to grab it. Okay. He dropped on the floor.
I'm going to pause this real quick to say something. I know I'm pausing a lot. In these situations, a majority of the time, I know some of you are probably going to sit here and be like, oh, this wasn't the best thing to do, this yada yada. In this situation, the best thing to do was getting some sort of physical with that dude. Because when it was two of them, dude was... okay, keep in mind. If they take this to the police, first they have to do the case and all that. Then they have to find bro. Then they have to arrest bro. If bro has money, he can get out on bond. So he can still be a walking free man. And in sometimes these rapists win in court and they don't get any repercussion because they won in court. And they go out in the world and they do it again. In this situation, the best thing to do was to fight this dude. Because with that, I mean, they obviously killed him, but in some circumstances, he'd be in the hospital, like, away for months on a time. And in that time, this girl can move out, go to a different location, move out of the UK in general, I don't know. But there's so much moving around that this girl can do now that this person is in the hospital for the amount of time that they're in there. Just giving this man some slack so that y'all are like, oh, he still killed him. This wasn't the right thing. This wasn't the right course of action. The right thing to do was call the police. Not a situation, bro. Nah.
On one knee, and then I just ran across the road, shouted to my boy, let's go. We ran off. And that was it, basically. From where I lived at the time, we could see the police put up the tent around his body and all the road taped off and stuff. And they were just there.
I know I'm pausing to see, but that's one thing, you know someone's dead when they get the white sheet and they just on that man's body. That's how you know he gone.
For hours. And that's why I started to think this has probably gone way too far, because why is there a tent around him? Is this man dead? He can't be dead. I only hit him a few times with a baseball bat in the head and around the shoulder, neck.
In the head.
Wherever else. Main
thing, in the head. Him hitting him with a baseball bat in the head a few times can cause a lot of head trauma. It's more than a CTE, bruh.
It was about, I don't know, 5 or 6 days later, Crime Stoppers put posters up around the streets where it happened, saying that the man had died. Is there any information on this man? To this day, it's a strange feeling. Sometimes you don't really know what that feeling is, but it's there. It's hard to explain. I don't know. You feel
I wouldn't
bad
feel
about
bad.
yourself, and
I
then you
wouldn't. I
question
wouldn't.
yourself. Like, am I a bad person? Am I a good person?
You
know,
rape my
am I wrong?
man's
Am I
girl. I wouldn't
right?
feel bad. I wouldn't
I
feel
don't know.
bad.
I'm a religious person as well, so I think it's in the hands of God, innit?
I was out with my friends on a night out. It was one of my friend's 18th birthdays. And we were just out all day drinking. As the clubs closed on that night, I got some calls from my friends who I got separated with, who were in another bar causing trouble. And they would ring me up and say, oh, Jacob, it's kicking off. You need to come and back us up. So me being the, 18, 19-year-old I was back then, I only cared about my friends. And so I went running down to the scene, and I sadly took it upon myself to get involved, and I threw a punch at the guy that my mate was arguing with, and he fell on the floor. My friends came round the next day, knocked on the door. I answered at the window, and their response was, yes, Jacob, your punch man knocked him out one punch. Like, trying to, like, praise me for what I did. And I guess at the time, I felt a little bit of a...
Like a man or something. Yeah.
little bit of pride getting
Little
that
bit of pride, yeah.
acknowledgement from my friends. And then a couple more weeks passed, and I ended up, my mum had saved up some money to actually take us on holiday. And we went to Tenerife. Then a couple of days later, after we come back from that holiday, the police started raiding me and all my friends' house. And this was a month after that punch. And then that's when it started to become a reality that someone had actually passed away because of my actions.
How did it make you feel?
A mixture of every...
I know this is a little sad, but you gotta think about the force of that punch. To kill somebody, you have to, like, oh, bro, the force of that punch, bro. To kill a man? Man.
unpleasant emotion combined. Shock, disbelief, self-pity. And I guess at that time I also felt unfortunate. I felt like I was, why has this happened to me? My mum was, the best way to describe it is hysterical. She just kept crying about the pain that the other person's mum would be feeling. And I found that really difficult to even try and think about.
The court hearing was hard, for me, because all I'm thinking is, I just want this jury to hear from the girl. She was excluded from our trial. She got a plea bargain for conspiracy to assault. She's the reason why her and this guy, why this all started. Obviously, we're not going to hear from the guy. We need to hear from her. And they didn't get to hear from her, so it was difficult for me, Sitting in there as a young black man, I thought, oh my God, I'm already on the back foot. Yeah, just had to just sit there and just take it all in. And then sometimes when your barrister isn't saying what you want him to say and fighting for you how you want him to fight, then, you can't really jump up in the court and start saying, no, you didn't say that right, you're supposed to say this and say that, because obviously it compromises your character. You're gonna have a whole jury looking at you like you're some savage. You're not trying to be a savage, are you? You're just trying to be a normal person.
The court hearing was, it was packed. I didn't know who was in there. There was like random people from off the street who had managed to get in there, who were just being nosy. There was some of my family in there, people who I didn't know, journalists.
Dang, they are.
And then obviously,
I ain't gonna lie, the people that came randomly from the streets, they are meat riding, they are dick riding. Chaboing. What? Why are you that? Are you that bored, bruh? You that bored? Jeez.
I was told that, you know, the family of the person who passed away was also in the room. So I think what I did is I put my head down, looked at the floor for the entire process, because I pled guilty early, so there was like no trial or anything. I didn't try and what they would say, bust case, or, you know, try and get away with it. And yeah, so, and then all of a sudden I was looking down at the floor, and the prison guard next to me pulled me down, and I didn't even know how long I got. I didn't even know that it was all over and I was going to prisons.
Were you scared?
Yeah, I was scared, and it just felt awful, to be honest.
What was your sentence?
It was 12 years.
Damn.
But I did 8 months on remand, so the judge ended up sentencing me to 11 years and 127 days. It's only 19 at the time. I'll get out when I'm 30-something.
I was sentenced to,
Dang.
I think it was 13 months.
That's the majority of your young adult life gone. Damn. Hard to think about. And I just wish for the other kid. I wish the jury heard from the girl, because the whole reason why it happened was because the girl was getting touched and all that. So,
In the end, it was 2.5 years. An early guilty plea gets you a third off your sentence. I hadn't had any previous criminal convictions. My probation officer kind of wrote to the judge in the pre-sentence report, just saying that she felt the longer that I was probably in prison, the more unhelpful it may have been.
Yep.
Tell me about your childhood.
My dad was a builder. My mum was a stay-at-home mum, like she had 8 kids. I was the baby, so I got spoiled. And I went to good schools, I went to grammar. My family was all straight goers. I was the one who corrupted them all. I was walking through a park, a couple of my old school friends, one of them let off a starting pistol, so the 2 coppers come in, and they started getting heavy with them, and I went, oh, you can't do that. I said, you've got to have a responsible adult there. He went, what, are you, a lawyer? I said, no, but I know my rights. And he went, okay, walked out, they come back, threw a razor on the floor, cutthroat, and he went, we're nicking you, but that come out your pocket. I went, what are you talking about? So they nicked me, took me to Stoke Newington. He said, they said if you plead guilty, it'll be a £10 fine. If you don't plead guilty and you go up the steps, he said, you're going to get a box for all that. So I done guilty. When I've gone back to work, of course, they've read it in the newspaper, I lost my job. And with a criminal record, it was very hard to get another job. So what opened up to me, I thought, if you're going to make me a bad guy, I'll show you how bad I can be. People called me a gangster. I didn't like it. One guy called me a gangster, so I stuck a gun in his mouth and educated him that I weren't a gangster. And I said, look, I'm a businessman, and my business is crime. At one stage, I'm sitting in the pub, all my pals having a drink because they were drunk, and Tony Greek come in to me. He said, you know the fish and chip shop where your mum and dad goes? I went, yeah. He said, well, they're in bits. He said, like, a couple of Turkish guys got their daughter on heroin and trying to get her out on the game. And I went, do what? He said, yeah. And I know this family, they're hard-working people, you know, they're in that fish and chip shop from dinner time, working through the night time, you know, covered in grease, and they're nice people. He said, and they know about you, they've heard about you, and they want to talk to you, make it go away. I said, okay. So I got up and see him, and he had this biscuit tin, bless him. And he opened up the biscuit tin, he had rolls of notes in it. He said, Bobby, he said, you know, he's crying, his wife's crying, and I felt bad, you know. And he said, you know, these people, terrible people, you know, told me what they'd... He said, and we don't want a problem, we work people. He said, you know, I said, don't worry, I'll make it go away. So he gave me the biscuit tin, and it was their savings. And I don't take money off of them, I'm going to nick it off of people who really got it. So I said, no. I said, what you do If we come in here, we get fish and chips free, and if my mum and dad come up here, you give them their fish and chips free, okay? I said, and that's the price. So I've come out, and Frank was sitting in the motor. He was my driver, old Frank. He went, what's going on? I said, tomorrow, I said, at 7 o'clock in the morning, I said, bring the car round. I'm not messing about with these people. They're dangerous. I'm going to shoot them. So I got out the motor.
Again, how are you getting the location of the... Yo, and this probably like back in the 70s, 80s, whatever the... Bro, how? Please tell me how you're getting the locations of these people, bro. There was no DDoSing. There was no tracker, bro. How? Yo.
Got the sawn off. One's under the car. I walked in and I shot him through the leg.
Damn.
And I went, I'll blow your fucking head off. I went, how about that? I said, if you ain't off the manor in 24 hours, I'm going to blow your brains out.
Dang.
What does it feel like to shoot someone?
Well, I weren't shooting in my head, right, because they used to say, how they do it, so you don't feel bad about it. They'd say, we've got a rat. So you dehumanise them. They're not a person anymore. They're a rat. So what I'm shooting is vermin. So I had no problem with that. But you've got to dehumanise them so that they're just an object to be targeted, and you target them and you do it. To me, everything was business. It didn't matter whether I liked you or didn't like you. If someone said to me, there's X amount of pounds, we're in on shot in the leg, I'm going to look at it and think, right, if I shoot him, I'll get...
I ain't gonna lie. I think Brody's still in crime a little bit. Not as much as he was into beforehand, but just a little bit, because you see the suit, you see the gold Rolex down there. I don't know if y'all saw that, but you see the gold Rolex down there. You see the rings. All I'm saying is I ain't trying to be no op. I'm just saying he might still be involved in crime just a little bit. Just a tiny little 0.1%, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Get caught, I'm going to do this much jail. If I'm clever and I don't get caught, that's my money if I shoot him. So it's not as glamorous as people think. It's like anything where you're shooting them, cutting them. Once you've done one, half a dozen ain't too many. You become hardened. And that's why it's very hard for you to show love and emotion, that sort of thing, because you've got to bring the shutters down. Because if you don't, you'd go insane. Or you put one in your own mouth, you know?
Can you remember the first mission you were sent on?
Yeah, I can. It was in Iraq. We were in the Maysan Desert. And the Maysan Desert is a vast, vast place, and it's desolate.
You know what's so interesting about these situations? They all, like, this is a life-changing experience. They all remember the places where they were at. I can guarantee you, if you ask these people to describe the exact place, the surroundings, the cars around, the places around, all of that, they'd be able to describe the place in detail, in descriptive detail, because that's how deep it got. That is how deep these situations get. When you're in a life-changing situation, like killing somebody, shooting somebody, etc., unless you do it OC, you remember the exact place, time, surroundings, or you even remember the weather of that day. That's how deep it gets.
We were getting scouted by a motorbike, and every time we saw this motorbike, loads of mortars would come in. The artillery and the mortars were getting pretty damn close, and then I got the green light to take the target out. I shot, missed my first shot. Second shot, I got him.
Stormtrooper,
and then I had to go up to the body to see if I'd if he was, dead. And I remember walking up to the body. The motorbike, the throttle was stuck in the sand, and the bike was revving, had an AK strapped to it, and the guy was on the floor, and he passed away. I'd shot him here. Weird feeling. Weird feeling.
I thought
You
that for a
feel
second.
like
Let me
you're
go
in
back.
trouble. The guy, the bike, the motorbike, the throttle was stuck in the sand, and the bike was revving, had an AK strapped to it, and the guy was on the floor, and he passed away. I'd shot him here. Weird feeling. You feel like you're in trouble. you feel, I've just killed someone. But people are thanking you, going, oh yeah, good shot, tapping your shoulders, good shot, good, you know, good mission there, Craig, well done. But you just killed someone. Strange feeling.
Snipers work in pairs.
Yes, they do, yeah.
I'm going to just say this right now. None of us that are watching this can relate to what that, I mean, unless you can, but a majority of us watching this, we're not going to be able to relate to what they're saying in terms of shooting. But all of us have gone through life-changing situations. And you remember how it made you feel in this situation. It made them feel like, oh, I just killed somebody. But yeah, that's just how it goes.
Can you explain that for me?
You have one and a number two. Now, number two is usually the best sniper because he'll work out all your calculations, he'll work out all the wind, everything you need to know for your scope. And basically then he will tell you to put it in and all you got to do is pull the trigger. The number one is probably the best shooter. We got to understand then that sniping is not all about shooting and killing. The first job of a sniper is to gather lifetime information of the battlefield. So I'd look for my scope, I'd see a bloke come out of his compound with a lady, and I would make up a story, say, oh, there's Limpy John with his wife. And it keeps your mind occupied, and he goes, oh, let's see what Beryl's doing. And then you go over to Beryl, oh, let's see what Bob's doing. Oh yeah, there's Bob doing the same old thing. It's quite hard really, because when you do get to take the target out, you're killing Bob, you know, and you've made a name up for him for the last 4 days, you know, but that's the sort of thing you need to mentally switch off.
Let's go through some of the other missions you were on. Are there any that stand out in your head as dangerous?
One mission, we were in Basra Palace, and we got to go to this place called the P-Jock, and the P-Jock basically is just run by 15 people, that's it, and it's next to a prison, and it used to get smashed every single night from 11 o'clock at night till 5 in the morning. It is the gates of hell, and they're trying to release all these insurgents, all these other hierarchy Taliban from this prison, and it was our job to not let them do that. We were on the roof on this occasion, and they came from north, they came from the south, they came from the east, they came from the west, they came from everywhere, and we got absolutely, I'm going to say it, we got absolutely smashed. We thought we were going to get overrun. So I phoned Tanya. I get a bit upset, you know, sorry.
You see how when this man's talking about these situations, I have not seen this man blink in a good couple of minutes, bro. I mean, he's probably going to blink right now because he's probably not, you know, you feel me? But I have not seen this man blink.
I phoned her and she answered. And I said to her, I love you, you know. And she goes, I know. She goes, what's all that noise? And I said, that's nothing, that's nothing. Just want to hear her voice, you know. Just want to hear her voice. And we went back on the roof, and yeah, we were in the fight. It was like a wall got shattered. And when that wall of ice got shattered, everything that I've experienced in my tours through Bosnia, Kosovo, Iraq, Afghan, I couldn't stop it. My wife noticed it first. She noticed that there was something wrong due to my isolation, my snappiness, just depression really, and suicidal thoughts.
Damn.
I'm not going to lie, I will cry later, because a lot of memories come up, you know, a lot of thoughts.
This is for all my people who want to go into the military. I'm not just talking about like all the civilian job people that want to be in all the people that want to have civilian jobs in the military. push to the side real quick. To the people that want to be Navy SEALs, shooting, all that, bro, Marines, whatever, bro, yo. Prioritize your mental health in the best way that you can. Because it will break you. Not only just the training, because the training might break you, but also the situations you go through, the things you have to see. Osama bin Laden's killer, right? I'm gonna tell you this. Osama bin Laden's killer. When he killed Osama and all that. He remembers that situation not because he killed Osama, but because when he murdered him, Osama's 3-year-old son was right there. And that broke him. Depression for years because of that. All I'm going to say to y'all that want those jobs, Navy SEAL, etc., prioritize your mental health in the best way that you can. Because like this guy's saying, it'll break you. All those situations, it only takes one thing to just kick off the mental dive. Because all this build up from all these other places, situations, missions you have to go on, it eats you up at some point.
I don't disguise it. You know, I'm a big advocate for PTSD, but I find I'm ashamed to have PTSD, and I'm the first one to admit it. It ruins your sex life. It ruins your friends because no one wants to be around you because you're just miserable. You don't want to go out because you get so angry so quick. The army noticed it, and I got called into the MO's office, which is the medical officer's office. From doing 20 odd years, took half an hour for me to get kicked out. Yeah, I'll say it. My wife, we went to America, stayed there for a bit, and my wife went back to England to see her mum, and I nearly shot myself.
Jesus.
I took all the rounds out of the gun. I was practicing where to do it, where I would do it.
Damn.
And
y'all see how he's not even blinking. Oh.
Put it in my mouth. And Betsy was sat on the back of the sofa. She's little Yorkshire Terrier. She saved my life. I wouldn't be here now, either sat talking to you guys or on this planet, if it wasn't for my wife and my dog. No fucking way. I would have checked out. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard.
You were sentenced to manslaughter. Do you
Yeah.
want to talk to us a little bit about what happened there?
That was a bad
federal,
one.
federal,
You know,
fed,
that's the only thing I've got on my
federal,
conscience that I have to
federal,
live with.
it closed
That
it.
was the
Federal.
hardest thing.
Federal. Come on.
I had to live with.
Federal.
Someone choked on a gag on a bit of work, you know, and they choked on their vomit. And
Do you want to explain what that is?
it's a bad place for me, you know. Like we've done 100 times. You tie them up, you gag them, yeah? You go, the police come, untie them, boom. If I could undo that one, just that one, that would be the only thing in my life I would undo.
Why do you think the death of that victim at your hands has caused you so much kind of mental pain?
Because it should never have happened. And even to this day, I have to live with it. I've done an innocent. And you don't do that in my world. You don't do innocence. And no, that one I feel terrible about. But when I go to church, because I'm Catholic, I believe in that sort of thing, I always light a candle for that person. Like I do my mum and dad and my daughter who died, you know. I light candles for them. It's a respect thing, and I say a prayer for them, you know.
Do you have any regrets about what you did?
I wouldn't.
No, I don't, you know.
Yep, see, I don't.
Because
I wouldn't.
I believe what I done was right.
Yeah.
From my heart. I've looked at it in my head time and time again, over and over and over again. Am I wrong? Am I right? And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like, yeah, I'm kind of right. If there's one less rapist on the earth, then that's got to be a good thing.
Do you think it's the right thing to take power in your own hands in this sense, or do you think we should aim at the police to address this?
The police be taking too long.
Officer got raped and murdered a girl the other day. So how can you go to the police?
Damn.
A police officer was convicted for raping and killing a girl the other day, right? So where are we going with this? The police are doing...
That brings a whole new level to what I just said. Bruh. You can't even trust the police. I would say just take matters into your own hands, because, like, bro, a police officer raped and murdered a girl? Are you fucking serious? I don't even know what to say, bro, except in these situations where your man's calls you up, he's like, oh, yo, my girl was raped, etc., or your girl, something happens to her, your mom's, your sister's 20. Bro, I feel like you have to take it in your own hands, in my opinion. I'm not yo, if any of the women in my life get raped or something happens to them, I'm not calling the police. I'm taking matters into my own hands. One, the police take too long. Two, this has shown me that they can't be trusted the majority of the time when it comes to these situations. And third, like, it's no hesitation. If any of the women in my life tell me, oh, this person did it, this person, etc. No hezzy. I don't even want to get into what I would do. I don't even want to get into what I do, but let's play the video, man.
Doing the same things. So how can you go to the police? How can girls go to the police? They're going to go to their boyfriends. They're going to go to their friends. They're going to go to their brothers. They're going to go to their dads. They're going to go to somebody that's probably going to do something.
Shoot, that's another thing, bro. If my dad heard something happened to one of my sisters, my dad is like 6'2", yada yada. Bro, he's a big dude. He's muscular. He would beat the shit out of that dude. He would beat the shit out of that dude. Probably kill him too. Like,
straight away and not be like, we're going to investigate and give you a crime number and get back to you. And you're scared to go to the shops now. You can't go out your house. Scared. How much women out there are being raped and violated and kids are being violated and by paedophiles and that. Ask them how they feel about people like that, whether we should take the law into our own hands and sometimes dish out our own justice. If it's a monster, then, you know, I'm not really haunted by that, like, you know. Would you? Would you do the same thing for your friend, for your mom, for your sister, for your brother? You know. Makes us question our own selves, innit, as humans, innit?
Would you do the same thing again?
If I was put in that situation again, I have to defend it. I'm a defender. If I have to live my life in prison being a defender, then that's what I'm gonna have to do, innit? And then if I have to die in prison being a defender, then I'm gonna die in prison being a defender. And at least I can live in myself in my cell and say, I defended something for the right reason.
You ain't lying.
Did you feel a lot of guilt?
At the time, I did feel a lot of guilt, but I didn't know what to do with it.
Now,
because
this is a whole different situation. This was, for lack of a better word, retarded. His man's openly told him that, yeah, we're causing trouble in here. You should come back us up. This was a dumb situation. This was a dumb situation. Yeah.
How could I ever know what the impact was? And I kind of think I was scared of knowing what the truth was, like how that crime had actually impacted on the people involved. Like, you know, I was told by the parents that James was the type of person where he'd want me to make something of my life and amount to something positive.
Damn.
That helped me try to believe in myself a little bit more. Because I knew I wouldn't be able to achieve anything if I was just stuck in the guilt and shame of what I'd done. And that's when they asked me, you know, what is it that you're gonna actually do with your life, Jacob? Because it's okay saying, I didn't even want to say the word sorry. I said, you know, I feel like it would be an insult to say the word sorry. I want to prove to you through my actions that I actually am sorry. And then, you know, that's when I said, okay, well, what are you going to do? And so I said, I'll give GCSEs another shot at 21 years old. And
What is it, GCSEs?
And smashed it.
Did his mum ever tell you that she forgives you?
Yeah. But I didn't ever want to.
I think she forgave him, but she didn't really forgive him. She forgave him in the fact that, oh, as time passes, you move on and stuff like that. But she didn't. But deep down, she did not forgive that man. Her son is still gone at the end of the day. So.
Expect forgiveness. And I understand that forgiveness isn't something that is black and white. Forgiveness means
it's something different
to different people.
What advice would you give to your younger self?
Shoot.
Forget.
Shoot. Stop chasing. Stop chasing bitches.
Religion. Forget colour. Forget sex. Boils down to, in life, two things. Are you a good person or a bad person? That's all it boils down to.
Do you ever miss the old life?
So I had to go through hell, right, to appreciate heaven. And that's what it is. You have to see ugliness to appreciate beauty. You have to witness hatred and venom to appreciate love and kindness.
Seems like he's grown.
I actually thought he was going to walk off.
Type beat.
And I see him look at me.
Dang. What I learned from this video is, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Think before you do. The R-word situation that happened with the black dude, I'm totally with him on that for sure. The dude that punched bro and killed him, that was a little bit of a dumb situation. I wouldn't have done that. Gangster mob boss dude, I've never been in the gangster life before, so I don't know. If someone's harassing someone I know, I'd fight them, but I wouldn't like kill them, like buck with a gun or something. And then dude who was in the military, I will never be able to relate to, bro. I'm gonna just say that right now. I will never be able to relate to bro. I will never be able to relate to him. But I think that also has to do with thinking before you do. Like, I think when you're going to that type of field, you should really think like, is this really what I want to do? And really like have a sit down talk with yourself. Dark room, lights out, just you sitting there having a conversation with yourself. Is this really what I want to do with my life? For 20, he was in there for 20 years. Just think before you do. It's been your boy Marcel the Don on that new setup. Oh, I cannot wait for the content we about to be out, bruh. We up Marcel the Don 100K by the end of 2022. Peace.